Hello, what's good? Shotgun New Yorks, Tom and Aidan, we are back. We're here for a little new segment where we're actually going to review albums. No one's actually asked us to do it, we've just purely wanted to do it.
I do what I want.
So there's no request for this at all. And it's more just really an excuse for me and Tom to spend a bit more time together. So we're going to rate albums and do like a few videos. Hope you enjoy them. Give them a like, thumbs up, subscribe, all that jazz, you know how. And yes. So we'll kick things off. I think to start off with, we're going to do...
So we're going to talk about, and this is an album that Aidan wanted to discuss. Is it Republic of Ireland or is it Northern Ireland? So
yeah, Dublin boy.
Dublin lads, Kojaque and Luka Palm, and the album is Green Diesel that dropped last year.
Yes.
So admittedly, I didn't really know too much about this guy until Aidan introduced me to a couple of his tracks when we first started the podcast. I think it was Bobby's Cream.
Cause you were in for the penny and I was in for the pound. We split a fifth of that Henny, I'm talking sober shit now. And this isn't confession, I'm acting the child, I'm saying prayers.
One where the video's he's underwater and he's holding his breath.
DC, that's the burrow of berry stress in a bottle. I'm itching to reach the bottom. I'm hoping to bury sorrows of a mind to invest it in someone with vested interest.
Yeah, so the track was called Midnight Flower.
That's the one. And I think a lot of his stuff's quite kind of like lo-fi, quite soulful. He sings as well as raps.
Part of Soft Boy Recordings.
Soft Boy Recordings.
Yeah. Who are they're doing bits. I know they've recently just done a tour. Really cool because Off License Mag have just featured them, and I know they did a show up in Brighton. So big up to Off License Mag for giving a feature and actually making them a bit more well known in the UK.
So just to talk a little bit more about the format and how we're going to structure these. When we say review, it's like a term used quite loosely. We're just going to talk about like track by track, what we enjoy about the album, what we don't enjoy about the album, just a general kind of discussion around just our thoughts on it in general. Should we kick things off?
Yes.
What's the background of this album, man?
Well, straight off the bat, it's a Green Diesel that features production from Machine, Phoenix, King Kavanagh. We've also got Matt Finnegan, who produced Spit That Out, and also a special feature from the Scottish MC
Slobocop, yeah.
I
didn't know who that was. I thought that was the female vocalist in that, but I don't know.
Do you know what? Have you heard her sing?
No, man.
She doesn't sound Scottish at all.
Called the police on me, how the fuck did you know it was me? Look at all the sweet on me, but I smell jealousy.
Oh, really?
Does not sound Scottish at all.
Okay.
I thought she was American when I checked her.
Oh, so it is the singer then, Slobocop.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like the first, should we go track by track?
Yes, yeah. So like going back to what Tom said, I first got into Kojaque through like a little YouTube rabbit hole, and then eventually came across the track, like you said, Bobby's Cream, and then I've just sort of got into him really like since then, and then I know his latest album dropped last year, and that came a bit surprised me. I didn't even know that was he didn't know he was working on another album. I think I just saw it through Instagram.
That's one of your albums of the year as well, wasn't it?
For sure, man.
Yeah,
Hard
man.
album.
Yeah,
I'm happy we're doing this today. I'm happy we're doing this.
Yeah, you seem excited, man. You seem really genuinely happy to be here. So, which is a change. But so Luka Palm, who's that then? Tell me a bit about him. Is he a producer? Is he another MC? Is he both?
So Luka Palm is definitely another Irish MC. I'm not entirely sure where he's based, but he goes in hard, man. Like he's a really talented guy. I think he's quite a young guy, young MC. He does vary in style. The track that I really liked that he'd done previously was a track called Sam Pelly.
Plans council Gaffro, Manson in your house, slow dancing, red bone playing in the background, asking fuckers stay up on the couch or the mattress. Oops, snap.
And the actual that track in itself, I got a bit of a boom bap cross with sort of soul funk feel to it, because there's very like soul funky samples in it, man. And I thought that was a great track. In this album, I think he does the album Green Diesel justice.
All right, man. So let's get into this. The first track then, Flight 208. What I will say about obviously this album, man, is it is very Irish, like, and that's that. and I say that as a positive note, right? So it's kind of the Irishness and the accent is like juxtaposed against like some music you wouldn't expect to hear it on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'll get into that as we go on to later tracks. But the first track I enjoyed, it was kind of lo-fi, had like dusty keys, the delivery's really smooth from the MCs, and there's definitely kind of it's reminiscent of kind of Lee Scott, and there's a very kind of like, you know, tonally and cadence-wise from both of those guys. But it's kind of something that I wasn't expecting as an opening track, but I thought it was smooth. Yeah,
because that track itself is just, as far as I know, it's just Luka Palm, but then there's a little interlude from Kojaque in it, and it's hard, man. It's very hard, and I really rate the slow, heavy beat. That alongside, and like you said, it's very dusty. It's like sort of like it makes me think of like a dusty lo-fi trap.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Trap's a good like segue for the next one, Airbnb, because like that is essentially a trap beat. The beat is and the bass is fucking dirty on this one.
Yes,
like when it comes in, it's produced really, really well. Kojaque and both MCs on this one.
Yeah.
This is the thing, right?
Yeah.
I guess it's like interchangeable because I'm not used to either one of them. Aidan's the expert here. I'm just chiming in because I heard it today.
I'm not the expert.
So yeah, both MCs flow really well over this. It's a catchy kind of repetitive hook. It could be commercially viable, you know. It could be in the charts. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those tracks where, not if you dig deeper and listen to lyrics, etc., but from the kind of surface level, you've got that kind of commercial appeal and that trap sounding beat.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think that was, if I'm right in saying, that was actually a single release before the actual album dropped.
Oh, really?
I'm sure. Yeah, it was. It was a single released before the actual album was dropped. But what I really like about it is the build up at the beginning with the hook. So it starts with that sort of that little hook, and I really like that. And then it's, like I say, it's very soft, and then the bass line comes in, and it's very rare that you get a bass line like that. I think in a lot of like UK hip hop, because it's like.
It's not UK hip hop, technically.
Sorry, you're not UK hip hop. In hip hop in general.
Do you think they'd be really fucked off if they heard that?
Yeah,
like,
sorry guys, sorry.
You know, the whole like Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland shit, man.
Well, we're not a political podcast, man.
Yeah,
Let's
very true. But yeah, man, I think that track could have good commercial appeal. Date Night is I really enjoyed that. It was kind of like. Almost like a night in the life of, if that makes sense. Like it tells a story, kind of like a bit of dealing, a little bit of this and that and the other. Kind of, it's very like lush and soulful. The beat choices in there. There's like braggadocious bars sound really like sick with the Irish accent as well.
That's a great word for it. I think this entire album, I think, is very braggadocious.
Yeah,
it's sort of like, you know, they're taking it seriously, but they're not taking it too seriously. You know it's braggadocious, but you know as well, like they're taking obviously what they do, their art, very, very seriously. But in terms of actually the braggadocious, it's kind of like a piss take, but they do it so well. And what I rate so much about this album is you listen through it and you just feel like they're just lying in bed, just rapping.
Yeah,
I know.
And
then it's just, but it's the delivery is so sort of strong, but it's just so relaxed as well.
I did think that at times. I thought, like sometimes I kind of think, would I want to see this live? Like, how would this go down at a live show? And like some tracks I think would translate a lot better, and we'll get onto those.
Okay, yeah.
There's one particular track featured later on in the album I think would go off if it was in a club or like at a live show. But some of the bars like here. Like, and again, man, you're gonna have to like tell me which one's which, right? So, so Kojaque, one of them, his flow was kind of, as I said, like quite reminiscent, like quite Lee Scotty.
Yeah.
And then the other one's more assertive and more kind of like, oh, I was into it a bit more. So who's got the more kind of powerful delivery out of the two MCs?
For me personally,
yeah,
I would side with Kojaque. I think Kojaque's delivery, and I personally think that Kojaque is the stronger of the two. However, that's not to say that that Luka Palm is less at all.
Yeah.
It's just to say that
it's a preference thing, isn't it?
I feel like Kojaque, from what I understand, obviously Kojaque's had a previous album. Luka Palm hasn't. He's just released singles.
Yeah.
So I think this may have just been his first project or whatever that I'm aware of. There might be other projects. If there is, then please link and put in the bio or whatever.
Yeah.
Or description, comments, or whatever you call it, and let us know. But from what I can tell and from listening through it, it does like going back, it does say I feel like Kojaque is sort of carrying it, but then that's Luka Palmer complements it very well.
Yeah, man.
He does complement the track, and it's needed, and it works
wasn't-
very well with the vibe of the project.
It wasn't really like a criticism per se. It was more kind of an observation.
Yeah.
And also it's subjective. Like it depends on the kind of flow that you're feeling. But yeah, I think out of the two, I think there was more of like assertive flow, which I was feeling a bit more than a kind of like dranky Lee Scott type vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah, Date Night, that was sick. The instrumentals were really soulful. It told a really good story. Like it painted a picture which I was fully immersed in. So yeah, I was enjoying that one. Paris, Texas, probably like my favourite track on the album in my opinion.
It's funny you say that. I thought that was Luka's best track of the album. I thought that was definitely Luka's best track of the album.
Yeah.
And it's very strong, very strong. I mean, what do you think of it?
Yeah, man. I mean, effectively, it's just a song about fucking, isn't it?
This is the bit we've been waiting for.
Turn her over, hold it down.
Now, push it up in
The butt.
and then just hammer down.
Like that's all I got from it. It was just kind of this. It's just like a sex song, man. And I really like the vocal harmony on the bridge. Like the bass line is kind of playful and it's reminiscent of like a Tyler the Creator track or something like that. You know, I got quite a lot of different vibes from it. I'm a sucker for a good like R&B track as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I think again it had quite like good commercial appeal juxtaposed with like the whole like Irish slang and all of that stuff. So yeah, thumbs up from me on that one, man. Yeah, I like that one.
It's hard track. What's next? So Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles. Oh man, that's the most Irish fucking thing you'll ever hear.
Love that, mate. I'm a big fan of an interlude. Fucking,
Yeah.
I would say I would be
If
happy.
done well, and this has,
But it's like interludes. They're so common. It's just like a random skit on maybe like a kick and a snare and nothing more. However, this was like a fully produced interlude.
Yeah.
And that's what I really rate about it. And like you say, it's so Irish.
Yeah.
It's so Irish.
He's just
It was
going on
cool.
about he's like, I've been to every coffee shop in Spain, mate. Oh, it was a crease.
Amsterdam.
It was killing me because
We just killed we didn't really quote that very well, did we?
But do you think it was just one of them? They slowed it right down. Do you think it's a mate, or do you think they've like? Because it just sounds like a random pisshead, doesn't it?
I was trying to figure out who it was.
Yeah.
And I think I thought it was Kojaque, but then towards the end I was thinking like, is that Kojaque's voice? But
He might have put it through like a modulator or slowed it down or
I
something.
think it was him, and then there was just some
You
sort
reckon?
of mad effect. I might be wrong.
But yeah, that was as interludes go. You're right. That was like real entertaining.
Yeah. And it had put a nice little break in it because.
Yeah, the instrumental was nice as well.
Yeah.
As you were saying.
It was solid. And then next you go on to, by far I would say this is one of my favourite tracks on the album.
Refer back to what I was saying. Spit that out. Spit that out. Spit that out. Spit that out. It's like that is the club banger. That is
Yes.
It's catchy. It was stuck in my head all day after listening to it. It's catchy. It's commercial sounding. Again, it just works so well with like the Irish accent. Do you know what I mean? Because it's something like instrumentally. It's something you could hear in like in America, like in the South, in the dirty South, but it's like Irish guys rapping on it, and it just sounds fucking insane. It on paper it shouldn't work, but it works really well. Do you know what I mean? And this is to kind of open my eyes to and ears to the Irish scene. Do you know what I mean? A little bit more. Like, yeah, man. I wasn't really on it, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I think again, like I came into it just through some random like rabbit hole of the thing. But this Soft Boy Records, man, I think go and check them out.
Soft
because
Boy.
They seem to be doing some bits, and there's another rapper called Keen Cabinet. I mean, I haven't really checked him out too much, but I need to get on that. But look on their channel; they've got loads of MCs on there.
All right.
And also there's Soft Boy Records. They did a Boiler Room session.
Yeah.
And listening through to that, man, that was like, I feel like obviously you've got Kojaque and. Obviously did the MC, and then you've got the label, which is Software Records, and they did a few videos when they did a tour around the UK, and I watched those videos, and do you know what? To me, it just looked like a bunch of mates just travelling around, just having a good time.
Hello and welcome to sunny fucking Liverpool. We're here for one night and one night only. Let's fucking get live.
Yeah.
Just not taking life too seriously, just enjoying themselves. And, it's good to see that because it's like they're still delivering. You know, they're still putting on shows. They're still putting a good performance. This the Boiler Room session, like, it was fully like bass line trap. Like, it's mad because when I first got into Kojaque, the first album is sort of a boom bappy sort of vibe. But then this next project is sort of completely different, but it still works really well, and it's interesting how his voice can complement or lace both sort of styles.
Yeah, man. Because in other tracks I was saying earlier, like, he sings and it's it's really, really good. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got a real nice kind of like vocal range. But yeah, I get that. It's kind of like a gypsy, but like / roadman type vibe. It's like a weird hybrid, but it just works really well, man. I think it's cool. So yeah, Spit That Out is like catchy, kind of like club banger.
For sure.
The hook is just like repetitive. It's like it's up there for one of the best on the album, I think.
Definitely.
Chew Toy, next track. I really enjoyed the guitar in this one.
Do you know what? I was going to say the same.
Yeah.
The guitar riff. I think a guitar riff in a song or in a hip hop song, it can work very well, but it could also work badly. Sometimes I think it can be too repetitive, and there's a point in a song where it sort of gets a little bit stale, and it's just like, it's just that same sort of twang over and over and over again, or just like a few different notes. However, what I liked about this track was that. So you had the sample, you had the riff, and then towards the end of the verse, it then changed. Yeah. So it really complemented the lyrics and complemented the verse, and that was for both Kojaque and Luka as well. And I thought it was so.
And Shlobo, the Shlobo cop.
Shlobo.
So you said she's Scottish. Scottish
that's
female.
what I saw online, man.
Okay, man.
I mean, I did not get a Scottish feel at all.
No, man, I guess
then
you
again,
wouldn't.
People sing in different.
Annie Lennox, I don't really get a Scottish vibe. You know, the rhythmics is kind of like. Accents can be hidden by like, singing voices, etc. But yeah, I thought it was a sick track. It was a bit of a nice kind of like change in terms of tone and stuff from Spit That Out.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the last track, Phoenix, which is another kind of bass heavy, trappy track, more like Lee Scott vibes on this one. I love the kind of the socks tucked into Adidas line as well. It's just kind of like. Yeah, that just makes it, I'd say British, but Irish, like it kind of like puts you back in a specific point in time, specific place, that whole kind of like pikey aesthetic. It's just cool, man. It just works really well.
It's just like that sort of, chav, pikey, whatever, just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Fucking pigeons from that, innit? Oh, that's minging. Is he dead? Do you think he's dead? Fucking yeah, dickhead! You fucking gay! Fucking knobhead! Fucking showed you, didn't I?
I thought my favourite part of that song was the sample at the end.
Yeah.
The Green Diesel sample, and I thought that polished off the project so well. Reference back to the name of the project. A funny little interlude or funny little sample with the reference to Stolen Diesel, wasn't it? And bam! I thought it was great, perfect. It was only, I think the song. How many songs was the track?
It's 8. I think it's 8 songs. Is it 8 songs?
It's
just shy of like 25 minutes or something like that.
Yes, yeah.
So it's a short, it's concise album. There's a very, very like specific feel to the album. Mm-hmm. It flows well. I'm not too sure what kind of lane they're trying to carve for themselves. I think there's obviously looking at his back catalogue. It's not too extensive at the moment because he's obviously still a young guy, but you can tell that he's got. He's got a decent range and he's got a lot of kind of he's got a lot of skills. He is versatile,
going from rapping to singing.
Yeah. You could tell there's definitely something there. It's probably like time will tell. Like any album, it's like will I be playing this in like a year, 2, 5, 10 years time? Like who knows? But it's something different that I hadn't really heard much of before. I can hear certain influences from other artists, as I talked about. Lee Scott, like Tyler, Creator, a lot of different vibes there. A lot of kind of like southern trap and all that kind of stuff. But no, man, I thought it was an interesting little project, and I'm gassed to see what these boys have got in the pipeline going forward, man. Yeah. Yeah, so it's I would definitely recommend it.
I'd recommend it for sure. Go and check that album out if you haven't already. I was going to say, I forgot the name of it now. Kojaque Luka Palm, Green Diesel, available all streaming platforms.
Go check that shit out. And what did you think of the album? Have you heard it? And also, what would you like us to review? What album do you want us to chat about? Leave a note in the comments or just reach out to us and we'll try to make it happen. So this is the first one for us.
It could be the last. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? We got to sustain this shit.
But, thanks for checking it out, guys.
Shotgun the Orcs, all platforms, and we're out.